What's going on, guys? It's me, Shugashu. We're back with another umamusume video. This video, we are going to continue training for the long distance CM. As you can see, we are training Anime Collab Kitasan Black. So we are going to stick to long distance training, obviously because of the CM, and I'm just going to be using parents that I've used for long distance before, since we didn't really train long distance as much in the last scenario, if I remember correctly. Before the setup, we're gonna go with, instead of borrowing Dodo, I decided to borrow Tap Dance City. Simply because I was looking at my speed cards and I was like, what can I do here? What can I do here? So I decided to just borrow Tap Dance City and just go back to Super Creek for my stamina card, using my Tazuna card, and then Tamama Power. I did think about using double stamina, but like I said, it's like, what can I do with stamina? What can I do with stamina here? So, I mean, I could go use something, or maybe just use a different speed card, I guess, but that won't totally help. Kita, but just to have another speed card, which would have been most likely Still in Love or Duramente, I think, because I believe I would have used Duramente in the past, because Still in Love's other gold skills are just medium distance, if I'm remembering correctly. So I'm kind of just here like, I don't really have any speed card. I mean, I do. I mean, I could just slap a whole different speed card and just accept it like I did before in the past with the Taishin Wise card. I was using it for basically everyone during Great Food Festival. So I could do that, but I'm just going to roll with this and see how it goes. And then Forever Young Wise card. And that is pretty much the setup. So let's see how this run goes. And honestly, today's video might be shorter. I know the last video was, what, closer to an hour and a half, but honestly, the reason why I say this video might be short is because there's only literally 4 comments. I'm looking at the comments right now. There's only 4. And surprisingly, Nova's none of them. Nova is none of them, which makes me think that, maybe Nova got busy over the weekend with all the gotchas, since I was busy with the gotchas over the weekend. I would assume that if I was busy, he would be busy. There's that, or he got busy himself. Maybe something came up. He went out and enjoyed life outside his house. Who knows? Who knows what it is? Or he simply just didn't see the video yet. It could be that. It could be that. Who knows what it will be until we hear from Nova himself. But it's fine, because I did pretty much over the weekend focus a lot on gotchas, as you guys have probably figured out, since I did post all the Wuwa stories I did on Saturday, but I did do that on Friday. It's just Friday when I finished all of it, it was already late. So I was like, I'll just give it a Saturday post. And then there was the NCE one, which I did on I did it on Saturday when I posted after or during. I think after and during, because and then on Sunday was when I recorded uh the Camille story for Enfield. I decided to just post it because I was like, you know what? This wouldn't be a bad idea, but just posting a story, so. Should I just use it just because? I'm gonna just do it because. What else did I do? What else did I do? I did Starro events. That one I did need to finish. Arc Enfield, yeah, Arknights Enfield events. I did the photo event. Took like 5 minutes, if anything. Because you literally just had to run to the spot and take a picture. And I technically don't. If I do want all the things from the exchange shop, I could keep just farming in the contingency contract, whatever it's called for Enfield, but I got all the currency for pulls. To me, that's what primarily matters, at least. But I wouldn't mind trying to at least clear 20. But I'll admit, even with just 8, even with 8, because I wanted to see how hard it will be. Even with 8, I barely beat it with my best team, which is Rise of Right Now Fangi, because Fangi would be the one who has, at least her herself, not like the whole team, but her herself has her essence closely maxed out, like close, because I got that last spot left. That is a pain to level up because it's a low chance. And then her gear should be Artifice. Should be. Oh, and the crazy thing, when I was on Enfield, I was I don't know what happened. It happened to me again where where you know how I was complaining about how my farm for my farm in Wuling was basically not working for some odd reason. Like, for one of the materials that was used to make the SC Wuling batteries was just not working for some odd reason. For some odd reason, it wasn't working. So, with that knowledge, it kind of just made me wonder, like, I was trying to figure it out the whole time. And then yesterday, when I was trying to do it again, after doing some of the events, I put in Valley 4 batteries. The next thing I knew, it was just making the SC Wuling batteries again. I'm like, I'm just there like, what happened? I felt like I lost out on so much, those Wuling currents, the Wuling bills or whatever, because of that. That is what it is. At least I know it works. Now I know for sure once there are changes for 1.4, especially now since, well, I'm posting Enfield content, so I'll be doing the story right away. I'll, you know, be able to work on my bases earlier than before. What else did I do? NC, I did beat Beyond the Rails yesterday. I did it yesterday. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. Even with only 2 level 80 characters. Which was Hotori and Gioen. And my Lacrimosa team is still incomplete. It's still incomplete because I didn't bother choosing Daffodil yet. Hear me out. Is because I am close to my polls and my standard banner to get to the part where they do high rates. So I'm kind of just wondering, let me see who I get first before I use the ticket. Which I'm pretty sure will just stick around in my bag until I use it. I'm sure it would just do that. If there's an expiration, I'll use it, but I'll probably use it like last second. If I'm be real. Just to see who I can get off the the standard banner, because if I end up getting Security there, then obviously I could pick Daffodil. If I end up getting Daffodil there, then I'll just choose someone else. Security for the ticket. So yeah, I think I'm at like 50 something for my standard banner pulls there. So I'll just wait it out. It's fine. I was in no rush before. I ain't in any rush now. If I've been pulling through with a janky rotations or teams and beyond the rails, because sometimes I do give Juin and Mint to Lacrimosa and Baisong, because sometimes the weakness becomes, I forgot Baisong's type actually, because I know Lacrimosa's is chaos, but what was Baisong's again? I think it was like incantation or something like that. But yeah, it had like a good amount of those combinations, so I had to swap whether it was chaos or incantation with anima or whatever. But regardless, I made it work. I made it work, and having Cheese and Hathor in my Hotori team didn't really affect it too much, because I was still implementing or putting down Remora, and then I don't know, my Hotori team just feels perfectly fine, even without having the actual team on it. Although I will say, I think one of the levels I did get pretty close. I don't know if it was 10 or 11. I don't know which one it was, but it was one of them. But it's fine, I did it. And then I started working on the Pink Paws Bankais. Which I'm about halfway. I decided not to just do half of it. And then I did the that lottery thing with the scratch lottery and with the books in NTE. And I pretty much just broke even. When I mean broke even, I bought all the books and still broke even. I was just giving it a shot just to see if I buy all the books, will I end up getting the jackpot for at least one of them? I will tell you, it didn't happen for none of them. I think the highest I've gotten was like 300k in all those books that I bought yesterday. The funny thing is, I'm just glad I broke even, because that could have been very, very bad. I was gonna stop at one point regardless, but it's just funny because I just kept going because I kept bouncing back to even. So why not? Why not, I guess. But there's also the Double Fawns event, which is nice because now I can get the money I used on the bike event and get it back faster, along with being able to buy the apartment that I was supposed to buy first. But then the collab, not the collab, the car thing happened, the bike thing happened, the bike gotcha, I guess to call it. But other than that, I don't think I touched any other games because those were the ones those main three ones: Enfield, Star Rail, and technically NTE. Because of Beyond the Rails, I had to get done as soon as possible, and then NTE and Enfield, I just wanted to get their first videos out, pretty much. So I believe tomorrow is Enfield. Today is Star Rail, which I'm cool because I already finished all the story. Not the story, the events. I'm basically gonna binge all the story, maybe in like 2 sittings. One sitting of if I really have the time to do it, or one sitting, which would probably be over the weekend if I would do that. But I also do need to continue with the Genshin event, story event. So there's that also. Other than that, all the other games are just me keeping up with them. Like Frontline, just making sure my supply tickets don't overflow while looking over the events because I already did the story and all that. So I'm just here like, see what happens. And all the other games, all their events are pretty much up to date. Yeah, all of them are pretty much up to date. Except for Mongol. Mongol, I do need to spend some time on it, but clearly I haven't been able to. Clearly I haven't been able to, besides just logging in and all that. But I think I will try today for Mongol, only because I do want to check something out before I touch anything else. So there's that at least. But I'm gonna go over the comments now, only because there's a couple. Asta added another comment. But it was a short comment, so yeah. I'm pretty much thinking I want to see how fast I can get this video done after finishing the comments. So also to give you guys kind of a little break from like the hour-long videos, because I know it's been averaging around an hour. Yesterday was just a little bit longer because I think I took my sweet time responding because, well, I did say there was less comments, and I definitely could have ended that video earlier if I didn't take my sweet time with the responses. Just to be honest. But the first comments I'll be going over is going to be from Asta. I think the first one I'll just go over and just say is, where is Nova? That is true. Where is Nova? I don't know. It's like I said. Well, I don't know. I just realized I don't know really. Maybe he just got really busy yesterday. Because I realized because he did put in like a comment over the weekend, but he only put in one. Usually when he puts in one, he'll add a little bit more later, which he didn't. Now it's curious. Maybe he did get busy. Maybe he did. Maybe he did get out of his house and enjoyed life outside. Maybe. I don't know if I would have because it was hot outside. It's still gonna be hot this whole week for me. Obviously, it's summer, so there's that. Or it's just Nova. We all know Nova don't like being outside. Also, I didn't do the race. I just realized that. I'm gonna just do this for the sake of keeping the run going. I totally forgot about that with Kita because in the last scenario we pretty much just had our own races scheduled already. So once in a while I do kind of mess this up, and yeah, that would happen. But next comment from Asta says, let's see. Nova, tell me, are you surprised that the robot idol in Enfield 1.4 is a support unit? I don't know about Nova since he didn't comment. But for me, no? No? I think, well, I guess besides besides Zenless, because it's the whole team is literally an idol group. But the first one they did release was Suna, and she was a support. She was support if you wanna think about that. And then technically Nangong being a stun technically is a support too, right? But anyways, that's not the point here. It says, I'm not. Like I said, there are idols in OG Arknights too, Sora and Haruka and their supports as well. I think it's just a thing, you know? I think it's just a thing. I think I'm gonna do the Wise Ramen because of the broth. And because I don't think I'll be able to train speed anyway with the speed broth. So, well, the way I see it, if you're in that kind of profession, you aren't going to end up in a different class. Probably not. Probably not. Actually, I'm trying to think of Frontline if they're more support or they're mix. But I don't entirely remember because I don't use any of the idol characters in Frontline. I did pull for Yuhi, but I don't use physical team, which is weird. Well, not weird, which is, well, I guess it is weird because I did pull for Yuhi. And I think one or two are the characters that were physical. But I never ended up using them, so... Or using, like, the team consistently. So, I don't know. But speaking of Arcane, the fact that she hurls flying objects at the enemy reminded me of Rosmantis in the original Arknights. And it seems like she's still young. She kissed cats. Eyes on stream says that she loves small animals. Well, even a warrior can't resist cats. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Because I'm fairly certain, I mean, another example would be like Shinku. Shinku and NT in the middle of the story, if you know, you know. Because in a way, she kind of has, in like their own way, Iroi and Shinku, and then there's Chen and Arcane, the way they kind of bicker, except Iroi is kind of a little bit more intense than Chen, obviously, but they still bicker. And they kind of still have that close relationship, even though they go back and forth with each other in their own ways, obviously. It might not be the best comparison, but if you know what happened in NT's story with Shinku, then you would know why I compared it with Arcane and the cats thing you mentioned. But I'm pretty sure in other like animes or games, I've seen the tough girl or warrior act or warrior girl, whatever, fighting girl who's supposed to be tough and not into all the cute stuff and all that, have this side to them. I've seen it many times. I've seen it many times over the years. I'm fairly certain. And then there's the Perlica outfit in Fortnite. Doesn't really matter to me. Don't play Fortnite at all. Oh, I did like the first year? So, did I play it for a year? I don't remember if I played it for a whole year, but I know I played it like the first year it came out. Where it went before it got, I don't know, overcomplicated for me. Fun fact, I sucked at building in Fortnite, so you could imagine that I don't really mess with Fortnite. But I was still having fun with it, just treating it without the building. I would try, but it would be very bad. It would be very bad. I just realized we don't have the Takarazuka Kinen. That's just kind of funny. You see, I would, but I think resting would be the best option here. I'm not gonna lie. It's fine. And then the last, oh wait, and then continue on with the last comment. What can I say? Ironically, +3 upcoming characters. 2 of them look almost exactly like the originals. Why can't I? You know what? Then I'll use it for the broth here then. Or the wise training here then, instead of speed. 2 of them look almost exactly like the originals. There's the... I don't know if we should call him umamusume guy. If he's a guy, he can't be a musume. let's get that straight. He can just be an uma, not a musume. Milnar. Well, because his race is a horse, and a little version of Typhon with a similar crossbow that fires multiple bolts at once, so where's anything new? I didn't play Arc Knights for a long time, so I might not know a lot of the characters, the old ones. But I will say, with the where's anything new, I would say the new thing is you're playing them in an open world game. That's what I would say. Rather than however Arc Knights was originally in the older game. I think that's just my way of saying it. Seeing it. Honestly, not a big deal for me, regardless. Not a big deal for me, regardless, because if I went from one different playstyle to a different playstyle, I could appreciate seeing the character in the newer playstyle or newer gameplay, whatever. That's just how it is for me. That's just how it is for me. Kind of like how if there is really going to be a Girls Frontline open world, I would appreciate it more even if I do see the same characters, because now I get to go open world with them. But that's just me. That's just me. Like I've said in like the whole other responses I've made regarding the Woowa one, the Woowa things. It's just me. That's just how I see it. And we've already established that, like you said, Asta, you're, I guess, harder to please than me. I'm just pretty much just leaving it to my own. I don't essentially think about things too much. If I say something, I'll say it. Or if I want to say something, I'll say it. If not, I'm usually just pretty chill about the games I enjoy playing. I will talk smack about it here and there, kind of like Enfield. We'll just stick with Enfield and their gacha system, or how much they decide to let us use per 10 pool, and how they don't have any events. But that's pretty much the majority of my complaints. The end game that's really hard. Well, if I had cared to go to have bragging rights that I can defeat it at having all of the things checked off, then sure, but I don't care. I'll just clear it with how much I can. Plus, knowing that my team builds aren't complete because of, I don't know, I've just been having a hard time completing it with all the artificing and all that, especially the essences. But other than that, I'm still having fun with the game. So, yeah, it's just me. It's just me. If that's how you feel, I respect it. I respect it. If you wanted, you probably expected to want something newer, maybe a little bit more difference or whatever, instead of having a closer resemblance to their originals. But for me, it's kind of like from one game to another, different play styles, sure. I'll see. But there's also the fact that will I pull for said guy? No, probably not. What was his name? Milnar? Probably not. Most likely not if I didn't even pull for Camille. And I thought Camille was a pretty cool character. And then Typhon is all up to me. It's all up to me. Once I look up more information or have more details about her character, we'll decide it. Also, design also has something to do with it, but I haven't seen. I think I may have seen it actually. I think I may have seen it. Was she like wearing purple? I think I may have seen it. But off what I can vaguely remember, didn't look bad. Didn't look bad, so to speak. So it is what it is for me, at least. But other than that, thank you, Asta, for the comments. Appreciate it as always. And the last comments, unless I refresh and then there's Nova surprisingly appears. No, he's not here. First comment from Eugen, and then we'll just probably focus on the rest of the training. A little peace and quiet for the video. Or maybe I'll just stick around and just finish it, because we are getting closer to the senior year, so... How are we doing broth-wise? Yeah, we should probably use it. But the first comment from Eugen says, okay, this time I'm able to do a train-along video with Aguri Gray with your same setup. Take note, the only difference is on the tier, which I use 3 LB Speed Teo and MLB Tazuna. Isn't that a big difference, though? Because I'm still using a... Yes, I'm using a MLB Speed Teo, but my Tazuna is still 0 LB. So kind of... There's a little imbalance here. But maybe I should have borrowed MLB Teo and used my 1 LB Tazuna so it's much closer to your setup. That could have been the case. But it's cool. It's cool. I ended up to US 4. This is my current highest UMA, A, with a total skill of 8,470. Hey, I'm not that far off. I was like at 8,100. I think my stats were just the lower end. I would assume. I know I made a blunder because I'm not used to which ramen region to use for 2 speed, 1 stamina, 1 power, 1 wise setup. I just never use 2 stamina because I technically... Well, I can if I borrow the Dodo card and use my Super Creek. But in this case, for Kita, I couldn't do it because... Well, the speed cards doesn't necessarily help. Those speed cards that I have left doesn't necessarily help. Also help Kita necessarily. So I decided to just borrow Tap Density. But maybe for... Or maybe once I train like Orferv or Duramente or someone else that's not Kita. maybe Gentle Donna. Just any other character that's not Kita. I'll try to do double speed or double stamina instead of 1 power. I'll see how it goes. I am curious to see how it goes. I still haven't tried it. So upcoming CM Long, please suggest a possible third UMA that I might use. Also, I'm focused auto trained for Commander Special Week for parent training. Well, I'm gonna assume you're using this cap then, because you did say it was your current highest. For now, at least that's what I'm gonna think. And then I'm gonna assume you're still using Turbo because you always use Turbo. So what would I think? Who would you use? Who do I remember do you have? That's the other question. Because I honestly don't know who you do or don't have. Because yeah, I could name names, but I don't know if you have them. So I'm not sure. Why don't you give me a name, a list of umas that you think about using, and then I'll give you an option. You asking me to just name names is kind of hard because I don't know who you really have or don't. Plus, I'd rather have a list of umas to pick off from, and at least from what I know, it's gonna be umas that you've thought of using. So. Obviously, knowing you, it doesn't have to be just strictly long distance umas, because knowing you, you'd be able to raise their aptitude. So, yeah, just let me know which umas you're thinking about using, and I'll give you an option in the next video. And then lastly, it seems you're questing the 999 event. And I believe you completed the story earlier than I am. Well, I did finish it. I did post the stories, so yeah, I did finish it. Not sure later on if I have the motivation to complete it since I'm into manga reading. Indeed, I like the mechanics. The equipment you use is shown as well, which kudos to the effort of the devs. Yeah, I gave them effort for that, or effort. I give them props for that because honestly, they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that. They could have just simply left it with whatever fits they had originally. But no, I give them props. I give them props. It's just the small details, you know. Sometimes it's usually just the smaller details where you appreciate it more than the bigger things. I'm currently at 100 level 49, so I'm stacking some mats for level 80 Lacrimosa, which I need to make sure ready because she is my main prio, main DPS, which is why I built Hattori first, because it's Hattori is my main team. Plus, majority of Hattori's team seems to be majority hybrids. So like a support damage. Support DPS in a way. In a sense. Kinda. In some way. So yeah. Well, I guess Mint is technically the only like main DPS in my Hattori team, but she doesn't do the main damage. Hattori does. So yeah, that's why Hattori and Jiuwen are my first two level 80 characters, and not anyone from, or I guess any of the two from Lacrimosa's team. Yeah, the reason being is if I clear things faster with Hattori's team, then I have more than enough time to clear things with Lacrimosa's janky team when it comes to Beyond the Rails, which has been working for me. I did think about I did think about recording Beyond the Rails, but I totally forgot. I totally forgot to record it because I just did it. I remembered after. I was like, oh, right. I didn't do that. But you'll see it next time. I don't know if I'll do it right away or not because I don't have my characters at level 80 yet. So I might do it towards the end. Just to give me more time to train my characters to 80. I also did the mistake of trying to work on Shinku first when I should have been working on my teams, at least my main Hattori team first before jumping into Shinku at least. But I did jump into Shinku. She's at least like level 50, but I'm gonna stop there and start refocusing on my Hotori team. But we'll see. We shall see. There might be some changes depending on if I do use Shinku and Hotori's team, which I know I can. I just don't know if it actually flows well. That's my only thing. I haven't tried it. I might be able to make it work regardless. I might have to figure out how to come up with a cleaner rotation, because I have a feeling that obviously Shinku is going to be on the field most of the time. Which is fine, because usually with Hotori's team, you're kind of just switching off pretty fast anyway. At least I am. Like once I do the E skill or the skill, switch off right away to Mint, get her attacks out. Whether or not it gives the redirection skill for 0, then I go to 0 ultimate into her skill, so it gives me the redirect to Jiuwen, or to switch to Jiuwen. Pops in, ultimate skill, the hold attack with Jiuwen, so she starts shooting, and then I swap to Hotori, whether or not the switch is up, and then I do Hotori's ult, because by then it should have been already up by then. So probably it might be the same. No, it might not be the same actually. Yeah, I haven't figured it out because I haven't built Shinku yet, and I couldn't really figure it out during the story because the teams are different. I think if I had Eroi, it might make the team work. I don't know. I haven't tried it. Like I said, I haven't tried it, so I can't really test. Because if I can make it work with what I have now, then maybe I could make it work. With Eroi and Eroi later on. But we'll see. I'm not sure if you mentioned it and did not pay attention. Were you able to take a photo with Hattori cosplayer? No, I wasn't. I didn't want to stand in line. Let's just face, I was already standing in line, and there was another line for taking pictures with the cosplayers. I had other things to worry about. But there was, like I said, 2 Hattori cosplayers. One was wearing her normal fit, one was wearing her casual fit. Then there was a Shinku, obviously, because they also had the Porsche there with the Shinku skin. Car livery on it. I shouldn't call it skin. And then who else did I see was a cosplaying? Mint. And I think Chaos. I don't think I saw any of the other characters besides those, unless it just so happened that they didn't have them out at the time I was there. But every time I was there, it was always Hattori was out there, one or the other. The others disappeared at one point. But they did have a group photo I did see, but that was on Saturday, and it was way more packed, so I didn't bother. Plus, I had already had my gone to the NTE booth 2 days in a row, so I was fine. I saw the video recap, and I didn't see as one of the peeps got shown on the video. Either way, the dude cosplay looks good. No, most of the time, if the cosplays, obviously, if they're in the booth working for the booth or company or game, whatever, those cosplays will always be top tier on the top, because they're most likely cosplayers, known cosplayers from wherever they're from. Because when I was in Silver Palace, they had a mix of cosplayers from different. They had a Korean cosplayer, a Chinese cosplayer, and a cosplayer from America. So yeah, I'm pretty sure most of these cosplayers will look good. Although I will say that I did see a lot of cosplayers outside of booths that weren't like working under thing, but they were just there like just cosplaying. A lot of them were also really, really dang good. I will admit that. A lot of them were still really darn good. Obviously, there was a lot of funny ones, questionable ones, and all that, but there were definitely a good amount of good-looking ones. Really good-looking ones. Stamina's really low. Just saying. It ain't even 1200 yet. But other than that, let me refresh before I end off the comments. There isn't any comments, or any more comments, I should say. So with that being said, thank you, Asta, and thank you, Eugene, for the comments. Appreciate it as always. Oh wait, there's also, I should also go over the other comments. Asta did say Shushu first Enfield video in the Camille video. Nova did respond. I did see this. I forgot to go over it in yesterday's video, but Nova did respond to my Shiu / Deadly Assault video because I had to do both. And it says for the Shiu, I basically just went with Snake, Cisia, Seed, and Seed, Xiaoguang, and Promea teams. I don't know where you're getting the N from. Because you put Promnia, like... Huh? Huh? But then it's Nova. He will just say names or write names the way he feels like he remembers it. But sometimes it'd be a little off, and that's where I get caught off. Like, Promnia? Promea? Promnia? You're literally one letter off. Just... But it is what it is. It's just funny. It turns out that this one wasn't difficult at all. Valina is still broken, and I can't wait to see what her synergy will be like with Dan. Dan Remiel. I guess if you want to say it that way. Well, how long do we have? Like 2 weeks until she's released? Just fine. I should have enough to see if I can. I should have a good amount saved, considering that I'm not pulling for Norma. Yeah, we have 2 weeks until Remiel gets released. I'm excited. I'm excited. But yeah, now to include with that, thank you, Nova, also for the comment, which I should have gone over in the last video, but I didn't because I forgot. But yes, thank you, Nova, Asta, and Eugene for the comment. Appreciate it, appreciate it. There's a comment from the Act 1, Chapter 4 video, but I don't know how to answer it because I don't know the name of the song. You're better off Googling than asking me, to be honest. Ethan 619, which San Diego? Right? 619 is San Diego? I'm not sure. I've barely gone to San Diego. But if he had commented in the Woo, I don't know if he'll be here in the Uma video, so that's why I'm just casually responding to it like, But let's just finish off the rest of this run, see if we can make it under an hour, because we're close. We're already at like 50 minutes by now. So let's see. Let's see if we can make this work. Also, the next global video will pretty much just be the CM, which is soon. I just pretty much just want to focus as much as I can to solo training because it hasn't been going well. Because it hasn't been going well. So yeah. Actually, let me double check. When is the CM again? I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure. Yeah, league selection's already out, so I think CM's tomorrow. Just judging from the date. So with that knowledge, I'm just gonna spend the day refocusing on that to see if I can get some short distance Umas ready for the CM. So we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. But other than that, there's nothing really much else for me to talk about. But for like Wua, I haven't completely built Yang Yang yet. I still need her level 4, although I didn't check my level 4s because I just did get some. But other than that, she should be built once after I get her level 4, but it is what it is. I'm not in any rush. I am not in any rush, but this makes it interesting for me now to see where I leave Chisa, because now technically I can just keep my teams the way it is and for the sake of it, just leave, just give Yang Yang, Mornier, and Linne, because I'm pretty sure that works perfectly fine. I'm fairly sure that works perfectly fine. So I might do that. If not, then it most likely would have been, what? Yang Yang, Linne, and Chisa? If I was already going to add Linne, I might as well just keep using Mornier. And keep Chisa with Hiyuki. For me, at least. For me, at least. Because I didn't want to give Chisa to Imat's team, which is why I have Lupa in that team instead. Mainly just focusing on Fusion Bursts. And now I'm gonna either figure it out with Yang Yang, or either figure it out with Hiyuki. Because Chisa's gotta go somewhere. Chisa's gonna go to one of them. But I feel like the options are the same. Whoever I replace Chisa with will be most likely get replaced by like Mornier or something. So I don't know. It's just gonna be that way. And then there's Enfield. I actually don't know the details of Arcane. I genuinely don't. So I'm just gonna wait till I see her tomorrow? Right? Is it tomorrow? I think it is tomorrow night. So I guess you guys won't see it tomorrow. You guys will see it Thursday. And then I'll get the story out for you guys on Friday. If not Saturday, kind of like what I did with Uwa. Kind of like what I did with Uwa. Yeah. A whole 800 less skill points. Which is kind of interesting. So this might be like a low UA to... Yeah, just I'm gonna say a low UA. Okay, let's get this all picked out. Then we can just end the video. Hopefully, I get it right before the end of the hour mark. Just to see I got it under an hour. But I guess, yeah, regardless of me having lesser comments or not, even if I did go over the comments real quick, like if I had just gave smaller responses, I feel like I might have just still made it around the hour mark. Because it's pretty much the same with in global with Make a New Track. I'd realize that with or without me going over comments, I'm still reaching an hour because of the scenario itself. And to be honest, when it comes back to scenarios that you go all the way down to the Uro finals, unlike the, well, I guess, where it doesn't feel as fast as, what was that scenario again? I forgot. I guess Lark. We'll just use Lark as the example. Where you pretty much end before the Uro, or before the Uro finals that was supposed to happen. Usually. It just feels like it's normally around like an hour, so to speak, so it is what it is. It's not entirely new to me, so although if it goes like 1:15 to 1.5, that's, you know, where I kind of spent some time talking. But we didn't get an S aptitude from what I saw. And we did get a UA, but what? Just a UA. We barely stayed in the UA ranks. I yawned. Is my tiredness catching up to me? Tiredness as in because I was spending a lot of time catching up and with story and all that, and I'm not even done. Oh yeah, now I can say that I am pretty much, knock on wood, if, oh, I do. Knock on wood. I feel like I am gonna be recovered. I don't want to jinx it, because every time I've said that I'll be good or I feel good, I've jinxed it. So 2176 speed, 1478 stamina, 1557 power, 947 guts, and 1357 on wise with no S aptitude, like I said, and that shouldn't. Oh yeah, because majority of the Kitas I trained were the medium distance ones, the New Year one. So it makes sense that this would be my best one for this Kita. Ah, it makes sense now. So I don't think I trained long distance until probably the last scenario. So interesting. I guess I'll technically take this as a little win then. But with that being said, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. If you guys didn't make it this far, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and let me know how you guys are doing so far with your CM training, who you guys are bringing. Eugen, remember to let me know a list of Umas that you're thinking about using so I can pick one. And if there's anything else you want to talk about or ask me, just leave it down in the comment section down below. As long as appropriate, I'll go over it. And if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. So with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you once again. And as always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.